What's going on, guys? Hayato here, and today I want to talk about building wealth and getting out of the rat race. And if you guys have read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, you might be familiar with the concept of building assets and reducing your liabilities and creating a life of financial freedom. And that's exactly what I want to pursue. And in no means am I out of the rat race yet. I'm still working on it. But I want to share with you guys my step-by-step process on how I intend to get out of the rat race and how I intend to build wealth. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe and share this video with your friends as well. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, so before I go over the steps, I just want to say that I am in no way a financial expert. These are just the steps that I put into place for me to go ahead and build my wealth, and it can be a guideline for other people as well if you're looking to build wealth this way as well. There's no one way of doing it, it's just one way that I'm presenting here. So feel free to, take it with a grain of salt and really make the decision on your own of whether or not you want to proceed this way. And for those of you who are not familiar with the term rat race, it pretty much is where your expenses are higher than your passive income stream or other income sources, and you're gonna have to have a job, or you need to have something that you're always working at in order to provide for your living expenses. But when you get out of the rat race, that means that you have enough cash flow, you have enough passive income for you to live without having to work at all, and your assets, your passive income and your cash flow are pretty much paying for your living expenses and everything else, so that you never have to work another day in your life, but you can survive and you can live quite freely. Now, I'm sure a lot of people want to live that financial freedom lifestyle where you can travel anytime you want, you can work a job that you like or not even work one if you have a big enough cash or passive income to sustain that lifestyle. And, you're able to go ahead and do things that you really, really like and you want to pursue in your life. So I'm sure a lot of people do want to get to this place of financial freedom, and a big misconception that I think that a lot of people have in their heads is you need to have millions of dollars to begin with, or you need to have a huge salary to begin with in order to get to that point. And I don't believe that's the case. Personally, I've never made more than $50,000 a year in salary, even in my previous job. But in assets, I do have about $70,000 to $75,000 there. And I'm continuously trying to build my assets so that I can go ahead and achieve financial freedom. And I'm here to say that you don't have to earn six figures. If I can do it, you can do it as well. And by me following this step-by-step process that I created for myself, this kind of blueprint that I created for myself, and sharing it with you guys, I hope that it motivates you and encourages you to do the same, and hope that you're able to achieve financial freedom as well. And I want to show and document that if I can do it, you can do it as well. So the very first step that I made for myself, and what might help you as well, is to pay off any debt you have. For example, if you have credit card debt and you're paying anywhere from 17 to 25% and paying back the credit card company for your debt, that is insane. No matter how hard you try, no matter what kind of investments you make, it's gonna be nearly impossible to make that kind of return without extreme effort. And in that case, I would make sure that you just pay off your credit card debt first. You pay off as much debt as you possibly can that has interest loans of 15, 20, 25%, so that you can get started at zero without any interest that you need to pay off. So for me, getting to a place of zero debt was step number one. So the second step is for you to have some sort of income, whether it be a job, whether it be a business that you start. You need some type of capital that you bring in every single month for you to be able to invest it elsewhere. Now, I know a lot of people might say something like, I don't want a job, I want to, start my own business, I want to do this and that. And that's totally fine, but you just need some type of income source that's coming in. And if you're starting a business, chances are it's going to take you some time to get that income source, and it's going to take some time for you to even save money and save enough money for you to even start investing. So if you want to start investing quickly, I would say, and if your side hustle or business is not taking off yet, then you need some type of income, and the best way to do that is just to get a job. Now that you have an income stream and you don't have any debt to pay, now you can start thinking about getting a credit card. And the reason for getting a credit card is for you to build up your credit so you can go ahead and leverage your money. But you also have an income stream now that you can go ahead and make sure you pay the credit card balance every single time and not be charged with the huge credit card interest fees that you might get if you don't pay them off. So that's why you really need an income source, and you want to make sure that you start from zero debt. So then now you can make sure that you never pay those high interest fees again, and you can also build your credit card score while you're at it. So step 3 is really to build your credit score as high as possible. I would say in the 700s if possible. And I'd also recommend saving up to 6 months worth of your salary, or $10,000 to $12,000 depending on how much you make, so that if you have emergency situations where you may have lost your job or something, you have that emergency fund to help you out. Now that you have zero debt, you have a good credit score, and you have an income source, and you also have about $10,000 to $12,000 or 6 months worth of your salary saved up for emergency cases, now you can start thinking about investing. Now, if you are a complete beginner and you're investing for your very first time, the best advice that I can give you, again, I'm not a financial expert, but this is something that I would do personally, and I have done personally, is I would put 20% of my income into the S&P 500. So you can open up either an account on Vanguard or on Robinhood. Those are the two platforms that I would suggest. You can purchase S&P 500 and contribute 20% of your monthly income and have that automatically set up so that you're investing 20% of your income every single month. If you'd like as well, you can also open up a Roth IRA, and you can also contribute every month there as well. The benefits to contributing to a Roth IRA is you're taxed when you put your money in, but you're not taxed when you're taking it out. So if you're looking to build wealth and continue building that wealth in the future, then a Roth IRA could be a very, very good idea. But the maximum contribution, I believe, is around $5,500. So if you exceed that, you can go ahead and open a traditional brokerage account and invest in the S&P 500, again, which is what I would recommend, and which is what I would personally do if you're a completely new investor. Now, step 5 is where you may have increased your income and now you're a little bit comfortable with investing. You see how everything works, and you've only invested in stocks at this point, but you're a little bit more familiarized and you're a little bit more comfortable. And so here, the most important thing to remember is to not increase your expenses, because increasing your expenses will make it exponentially harder to get out of the rat race, and it's going to be a lot harder to achieve financial freedom when you do so. And by keeping your expenses low and continuing to build that capital, you're going to be able to have more and more of your money invested and more money saved up to go ahead and invest in real estate now. And for real estate, the minimum I would say that you need to be able to invest in real estate would be about $20,000. You can do it for a lot less, but you're just going to have to do a lot more work, and it's going to be a lot more hands-on, a little bit more complicated. But if you want to invest in real estate a little bit easier, then I would say the minimum would be $20,000 to buy a turnkey rental property for building cash flow. Otherwise, you can save up maybe $40,000, $60,000, maybe $70,000 to do either a BRRRR strategy if you want to continue building rental properties in your asset portfolio, or you can go ahead and fix and flip as well, which you would probably need about $60,000 to $70,000 as well. And most of these real estate investments would be, if you're living in LA or Chicago or New York, it would be out of state in areas like Cleveland, Memphis, most likely the Midwestern states. That's where you can make your real estate investments. So this brings me to step 6. So in step 6, what you can really do is focus on your real estate investments and building that passive income and cash flow so that you can go ahead and build up your single family home portfolio, even apartment units if you have that much cash saved up for that. And continue to burr or buy turnkey properties or buy off-market deals that already have tenants in them, those rental properties, for you to go ahead and build up that cash flow where it exceeds your expenses, and that way you can go ahead and be that much closer to financial freedom. And in this step is where your credit score becomes crucial, because if you're using leverage or financing to fund your real estate deals, you're gonna need a good credit score. Otherwise, you're not gonna get financing from the bank. And you might be able to get some hard money loans, private money loans, but regardless, it doesn't hurt to have a good credit score. And when you're trying to get leverage or financing, it's gonna really help that you built up your credit score in those previous steps. And lastly, step 7 is really just continuing to invest in your stock portfolio, invest in real estate, continue building out that cash flow, your asset basis, and maybe even move on to bigger deals where you move on to things like apartment buildings or commercial buildings. That's completely up to you, depending on what you like and what kind of investments you prefer. Personally, I would more likely go into the multifamily space, apartments, so that I can go ahead and build up even bigger cash flow. But I'm not there yet. And other people might enjoy investing in commercial real estate, or they want to, start a hedge. Whatever you want to do, this is now totally up to you. You built up that solid foundation in the beginning, so you should have enough investments in the stock market, and you should have enough investments in your real estate market, so you can go ahead and do with your assets as you will. And hopefully this step-by-step process that I use for myself has been a little bit helpful for you, and hopefully I can go ahead and document my journey and show you that it is possible without starting from a huge sum of money or starting from a place where I am earning 6 figures. Anyone can do this, and I want to prove that, and I want to show that to you guys. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed my video, and see you on the next one. Peace.